So who knows someone who they think doesn't value themselves as much as they should? Whether it's a friend, family member, or even a colleague, chances are you know someone who puts themselves down and finds it hard to give themselves credit for the positive in their life. Imagine this. You just thought of an amazing proposal at work and your boss praises you and compliments it. You give an awkward, embarrassed laugh and respond, "It's nothing." Why do we downplay these compliments? We could have easily just smiled and said, "Thank you." But it's so hard for us to take these compliments head on. It's so much easier for others to appreciate things about us, and so much harder for us to acknowledge that appreciation and appreciate ourselves. If you call a girl pretty or a guy good looking, they'll think of 10 other people who they think are better. If you tell your friend that you think they're really nice and you appreciate them, they'll think of 10 reasons why they aren't and say it's no big deal. It's so normalized for us to downplay these little compliments because we're more worried that we'll come off as too confident than that we're not appreciating ourselves enough. And this happens every single day. I could go back and look for a specific anecdote from my childhood, from last year, from yesterday, and I would be able to find one. Negativity is so normalized now that it rubs into all of our interactions. We find it hard to do new things because we feel incapable. We only think of reasons that we should be different from how we are now, without appreciating what we have. We idolize others and put them on a pedestal every single day and fail to admire ourselves. What about the person in the mirror? Why is negativity so normalized? Why do we emphasize our failures and downplay our actions, our accomplishments? How many times do we have to say, "It's no big deal," whenever we take a huge step forward towards our goals? I, much like many others, find it hard to accept congratulations and try to downplay my accomplishments in the hope of seeming more humble. Many of us are afraid of seeming too confident and don't want to come off as cocky. I get that. But just because we acknowledge our strengths does not in any way make us overconfident. It simply shows that we know ourselves better. Why don't we allow ourselves to celebrate our accomplishments, or even allow others to? If we get complimented, why is it so hard to take? I'm not saying to embrace toxic positivity because you should know when things aren't okay, but you should also know when things are. It's always healthier to acknowledge your weaknesses and work on them, but many of us don't even acknowledge our strengths. If I just told you to see yourself better, that would seem too easy. This negativity is so normalized in society through our everyday interactions with one another that it might feel really uncomfortable to shift into the positive right off the bat. So here are some ways you can work on that negativity and appreciate yourself more just a little bit every day. First, bring these subconscious negative thoughts out into the open. A lot of these negative thoughts run through our mind without a second thought and are normalized in our heads. Give those thoughts that second thought. Try and be more aware when you think negatively and catch yourself. That way, you'll see just how often you have them and be able to have more control over those feelings. Second, watch what you watch. Without realizing it, we lean towards a lot of posts and online content that paints an image of inadequacy for ourselves. We look at how great other people are and fail to admire how great we are. We watch news that highlights the darkest parts of the world. The more we view and interact with this negative content, the more it appears on our feeds. That's just how the algorithm works. So start by looking for healthier content and build a feed that makes you feel good whenever you scroll through Instagram or Facebook. What's online isn't always the most accurate and holistic representation of the world around us. While it's good to be informed of all parts, don't let it consume your feed and always keep tabs on a few positive sources too. And lastly, keep reminders for yourself, whether that be logging something that made you happy into your journal each day, reflecting on what your strengths are, or playing a song that gets you going every morning. Find little things that remind you of the positive in your life. In a world where negativity is so normalized, let's normalize positivity together.